Hello and good morning. If you haven't labeled the bell work, make sure you do so. This is week 2-2. Today is Wednesday, 10/26. Okay, so what is straight line depreciation? It's where you use 2 points to find the slope, and then you write an equation where B is the initial cost of the car. Initial cost. Okay, and that is your slope. And that is called straight line depreciation. We're going to skip 4.6. On a new sheet of paper, copy down everything you see here. This is 4.7. Open your book up to page 259. Let's take a look at example 1. Okay? Well, distance equals rate times time. So this is your distance, or rather your rate, and this is your time. So distance is equal to the rate, 50 miles per hour, times the time, which is 6. So distance is going to be 300 miles. Okay, real straightforward, and that's how you do it. Let's take a look at example 2. You have the miles, you have the rate, you're looking for the time. So put distance, okay? So the distance is 883, the rate is 60, and you're looking for t. So all you're going to do is divide by 60, and whatever you get is your answer. So time is going to be 883 divided by 60. So I get 14.7. Okay? And that's all. You might say, well, what is 0.7? Well, there's 60 minutes in an hour times 0.7. Let's see what it is. So 60 times 0.7. It's about 42 minutes. Okay? So it's 14 hours and 42 minutes. All right, one more. This one right here, you have kilometers, but we have to change that. So kilometers might be used in, say, Canada. So this one's good. You got miles, that's what we use. This is kilometers, so you got to multiply by that conversion factor. So it's 0.621,371 of a mile. So it's not even a whole mile, 1 kilometer. So you're going to take 65 times 0.621371, 1371. So that is equal to 40.389, 40.389 miles, roughly. And what you're going to do is add your miles together. Add that up to that. So you're going to say plus 176. So your total miles is 216,389. So 216.389 miles. Okay? And it took 3 3/4. Well, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. So the time is 3.75 of an hour. And you have your distance. And you're looking for the rate. So distance equals rate times time. You have your distance, which is 216.389. You have your rate, which you do not have, but you do have your time, which is 3.75. So what you want to do is divide by 3.75. And when you do, you get your rate. Okay? So 216 divided by 3.75, and that's going to give you your rate. So you were traveling at about 58 miles per hour. There it is. And that's how you do that. All right, today you're working page 265, 1 through 11. Make sure you check your answers in the back. I do want you to paraphrase the questions. If you just give me answers, I'm not going to give you full credit. All right, have a good morning. We're going to turn our attention now to 7th period. All right, so let's take a look at seventh period. First of all, make sure your bell work is labeled. Put 1026 right here because it's Wednesday. And put week 2-2. All right, so here you want to rationalize your denominator. I'm going to do this one first. So I'm going to multiply by the square root of 10 by the square root of 10. The 3 is okay. So that's going to give me 4 square root of 10. This is going to be the square root of 100, which equals 10. So 10 times 3 is 30, and I can reduce by 2. So I'm going to get 2 square root of 10 over 15, and that's your answer. You can't reduce this one and this one because one's inside the radical and one's outside. Let's talk about the harder one. This one you got to multiply by something called the conjugate. So you're going to multiply by the square root of 10 plus 2. So when you distribute here, you're going to get 4 square root of 10 plus 8. But down here, the outer and the inner are going to cancel. So you're going to be left with square root of 10 times square root of 10, which is the square root of 100, which equals 10. And then negative 2 times positive 2 equals a negative 4. So what you're going to end up with, and you can factor out a 4 here, so you're going to get 4 times the square root of 10 plus 2. And then down here, this looks like 6. And then you're going to reduce those 2 and get 2 over 3. And there's your answer. Okay? All right, today we're talking about a new section here, 1.5. Open your book to page 115. Remember, I want you to leave your book under your desk or carry it back and forth to class. That's up to you, okay? I do not want them in the front of the classroom. So turn to page 115. Okay, so when you add these up, what you're going to do is add up this and this. So you're going to get 5, and then you're going to add up your imaginary numbers, which gives you plus I, or 1I. This one right here, you have to distribute the negative sign, and then you got to combine like terms. So you're going to get 3I plus 2 minus 3I minus 2 minus 5I. So you're going to take all of these, this and this cancels. And let me look at everything else and see what's going on. So this looks like the 3's cancel, and this gives me a negative 5I. Double check that, make sure that looks right. All right, what is I? I is an imaginary number. So copy this down. If you take this equation and you solve it, you're going to move the 1 over here. So you're going to get x squared equals a negative 1. And then when you do the square root, you get the square root of a negative 1. You were told that you can't take the square root of a negative number, therefore it's no solution. But mathematicians created something called I. So the square root of negative 1 equals I, so x equals I. Okay? So the square root of negative 1 equals I. Write that down. Square root of negative 1 equals I. Anyway, here's another one. I squared is equal to a negative 1. Okay, so let's take a look at this one right here before I get into it. Copy this down. You're going to do FOIL, and you slide this up the side of that. Okay, so to do FOIL, you're going to do 2 to both of these. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3i is going to be plus 6i. Then you're going to take this one to both of these. So you're going to get a negative 12i. And then here you're going to get a negative 12i squared. Well, I squared is a negative 1. And when you multiply, you're going to get a positive 12 here. This one and this one is going to give you negative 6i. And then we have a 6. So you're going to have 6 plus 12, so it's going to be 18 minus 6i. And that should be the answer, and that's how you do that. Today's work is right here. Make sure you look up the definitions, okay? Don't spend a lot of time on that. Copy it down, and then look it up. If you're kind of slow on that, work the problems first, and then go back. Make sure you check your answers. All right, have a good morning, and I'll see you in class.